Hello everyone, I am Erika of Beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly beading workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. It's always good to know that the technical side is all right before I would say something important. And we have some important beading to do today, I would say. Such a nice, colorful bracelet. Marta is here and Ariana says, hello, can see and hear you. Thank you so much, Ariana. I'm really happy to hear that it's all right. Eleanor is here. Kata is here. Marta also says loud and clear. Yosin, hoi Erika. I see and hear you. Hoi Yosin. Gaat het goed? Debbie is here. Aniko, Nancy, Faye. Oh, I'm so happy. Like, ladies, I always say like that every beader all around the world has company. But like before we would start beading today, just let's stop for a moment, like 5 seconds, and let's like really think about it that Faye is tuning in from New Zealand. Then Kata is tuning in from Sweden. Aniko is tuning in from Hungary. Nancy is tuning in from the United States. Anne is tuning in from the UK. Yosin is here from the Netherlands. And so many more countries, many more regions of the world represented here. Corina, Irina, Guna, Gemma, Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl says, hi everyone, loving the pendants on the mannequin. Thank you so much, Cheryl. It was the project I had earlier this year in the Bead magazine of the UK. Jill is here also. Yay, Jill says, meeting at work ended early so I can join for once. That's super cool. I'm glad you are here today, Jill. Kathy is here. Sunshine is here. Sandra, Sarah, Catherine, Honey, Gemma from Spain, by the way. Please feel free, ladies, to comment. I would love to read our countries and everything. So really to appreciate, isn't it precious that we are here from really all over the world. Kathy is here from New York, from the States. Oh, Catherine was running home through the rain. I hope you can have now a nice cup of tea or coffee to warm up. Marta is from Denver. Sandra is from New Mexico. Oh, Manuela is here. Germany. Hello, Germany. Ariana is also from Germany. Heliana is waving at us from Indiana. Cynthia is here. Facebook user friend. Of course, lots of Swedes here. My dear Swedish gang. Ludka is here from Slovakia. Nancy is here from Ireland. Debbie is here from Florida. Really from all over the world. Sometimes we have even beaders, fellow academy members from Indonesia, from India, from Costa Rica, from South Africa. Like when a new country pops up, then it feels super special. Like we are going all over the world. And can you imagine, you have your bead mat, you are working on a design, and someone else thousands of kilometers, tens of thousands of kilometers from you is working on the same, and we can all connect and inspire each other, and that's amazing, I think. Faye also says, I love that we are from so many corners of the world. Indeed. We also have a strong Australian gang growing, and Annie Antoinette is here also from New York, Ulla from Sweden. Ulla's getting coffee, so important. Kristen from USA. Kristen, I see your name now, so you don't have to do anything. Martina is here from Colombia, from holiday in Colombia, of course. I hope you had a nice holiday, Martina. And indeed, after the happy moments, let's stop for a second, for a moment, as Manuela says. My condolences to all Beading School members who lost their queen yesterday. And I'm really sorry for your loss, UK beaders. It's like we were talking about her with Adam by breakfast, and you know, when you start learning English as a foreign language, then it's not only about grammar and not only about vocabulary, but you start learning about the literature. You learn about special, beautiful places in English-speaking countries, and of course, at one point, you also learn about the royal family. And when I first started to learn English, then I was like 10 or 9. Then, yeah, she was there. And then, like, every few years, you return to the same topics during high school. And then she was there. And then during university, and she was there. So it feels weird that from now on she's just, yeah, she felt like a constant point in the world, indeed. And that was, I think, her role that she wanted to accomplish the most, to give stability in the UK and beyond. So I'm grateful to her for that. And when we start beading, then I would actually, I have a story for you from the recent weeks that I would like to remember. But let's start beading first. And in the meanwhile, also Betty Lou joined, and Nicolene joined, and Belinda is here, and Sherry, and Marianne, and Alicia is here from Texas, some Facebook user friend. If I don't say your name, then it's because I don't see your name. If you are watching from the club, then you might need to click the link above the video to enable my program to see your name and face. Nicolene says, Erika is not moving. I can assure you I'm moving. And Donna is here. And yeah, Martina says about Queen Elizabeth. With her, I had the impression of immortality. It was a shock yesterday to hear that she is gone. Indeed. That was the feeling. And Alison is here. And Corinne says, she was the person from all our childhood stories living the real life. And in the meanwhile, Wendy joined, and Barbara, and Joyce is here. Oh my God, and Joyce, usually Joyce joins us from the States, and as she's traveling, she says, I think I'm on your time zone. We are outside of Spain right now. I don't have my beads, but I'm with you. Thanks for joining, Joyce, and I really hope that you enjoy your holiday a lot and all your travels. And it's 10 past 5, so if you are 10 past 5, then indeed we are on the same time zone we should be. If you are in Spain, then we are in the same time zone. And Ginny is here, and Ginny, I see your name now. And let's start beading. So let's see, what do we need today? Today we are going to bead the sounds bracelet. And it's a happy little piece that goes faster than you might imagine. I think if you started beading, that if you downloaded the tutorial already, no one has to beadalone.com, then you might already have your third motif ready. It's a cutie and it goes fast, and it's great also if you only have a few leftovers of different colors of gem duo super duos. So what do you need for this? For every motif you will need 8 pieces of super duo beads. You will need 3 millimeter fire round beads. You will need MIYUKI DELICA size 11 and round seed beads size 15. You will also need something in the middle of the motifs, and I have used mushroom beads, 3 times 4 millimeter big, in the color Alabaster Green Picasso. But you can use a 4 millimeter suvan rhinestone, for example. You can use a round pearl. There are different possibilities, or even just a bicone bead combined with a round 15 or round 11. Between the motifs, I started to add, so far I have only 2 motifs. I need a lot more. I started to add 3 millimeter fire polished ones. I'm beading the whole bracelet in one go without having to start a new thread for every motif. So I have added 3 beads between the motifs. You can also maybe use bigger and bigger fire polished beads towards the middle of the bracelet, and then smaller and smaller on the other side. You can use crystal connectors. You can use round beads. You can also add, of course, peyote or square stitch bezeled chatons or rivolis, or even other shapes of cabochons. It's up to you. Mentioning crystal connectors, I just want to mention you that today the ladies in the treasury managed to put together a few more of the Preciosa crystal connector boxes. So a few pieces are available again, and until Tuesday's Coffee Time with Erika, all the Preciosa crystal connectors are 20% off. And yeah, make sure to take advantage. They are super cute. And before we would start beading, then I would also like to show you quickly something new. In the meanwhile, make sure to download the tutorial. No one has to beadalone.com to make it easier for you to follow the broadcast. And just before we started, then I uploaded some new thingies to the bead shop. So we have beaders in the group who, when we are beading teams from, we are beading jewels from the Beading School Academy teams, then they are going on, and more jewels and more variations. Or maybe you just love the team so much that a little bit later you might want to go back. So we created so-called Beading School Academy MIYUKI bead bundles, where with only one click you can grab all the seed beads that were included in a specific theme. So there is now a Maharaja's Jewel bead bundle, Magic Garden MIYUKI bead bundle, a Tatis's Treasure, that's out of stock, the Tulip Mania MIYUKI bead bundle. There is also somewhere a Starry Night, and of course an Art Deco MIYUKI bead bundle. And already there is one with this black and white picture, New Beading School Academy MIYUKI bead bundle. On Tuesday, the new boxes will start traveling, and until Sunday midnight, you have time to top up your box. And if you would like to have double amount of the seed beads, then you can grab this. And let's see what are the colors and the sizes that are included. So just a bit of info before we will start. And so if you have a technical problem, then I'm afraid that at the moment I can't help you because I can't step out and fix the technical part now, but I tested it. So before the broadcast, it was working. Can you maybe try again, please? Maybe a different email address or someone to help out, so please. And Orit, hi, and Wendy likes the idea of the MIYUKI bead bundles. Eleanor is asking if there will be more Academy boxes. If we manage to put together some more after we posted everything, then might be, but as I said earlier, we don't plan to raise the number of boxes until January. So here and there, if there is some leftover material, because we always order some more than what we need for the boxes exactly, because I don't know, like metal components can be broken. We try to put those aside, so we calculate with a higher number. So if there is something left, then we might, but I can't promise at this moment. And in the meanwhile, hi Malka and hi Nancy, and let's start beading. Other ladies, by the way, besides Sue, could you download the tutorial? And I'm switching now to my second camera. So I would like to ask you that after I switched to my hand camera, can you please let me know if you can still hear me, because I'm switching my microphone. Thank you so much. So I will start by picking up 8 pieces of SUPERDUO beads. Cindy says yes. I asked 2 questions. Yeah, Gunnar says no problem with the tutorial. Okay, Ariane, still hear you? Okay, thank you so much. And Annika also says that the download is working. And so it might be on your end. I recommend trying another email address or just simply closing your browser and trying it one more time. So I pick up 8 pieces of SUPERDUO beads. I always try to peek at them to see if the second holes are all right, because sometimes they can be clogged. Sometimes you can remove the extra glass carefully, but then you run a risk that the hole of the SUPERDUO stays sharp, so I don't recommend doing that. Still in step 1, I am beading through all of the beads one more time through the same hole, and then I finish step 1 by beading through the first hole of the first SUPERDUO one more time. So I crossed that first bead 3 times, in fact, and now, thanks to this, I can hold good thread tension. I like to pull the tail thread on my left index finger. Okay, I for a second I was not sure if I have 8 or 9 super duos on my thread. I have 8. So I finished step 1. And now I'm moving to step 2, when I will attach my mushroom bead, my tiny mushroom bead in the middle. So I am still exiting the inside hole of a super duo. I picked up the mushroom and I bead through the inside hole of the super duo, exactly opposite of the one that I was just exiting. So there will be 3 beads on each side between the 2 super duos. Now I'm beading back through the mushroom, and I bead through the original super duo one more time in the opposite direction as my tail thread is hanging. So when I finish step 2, then actually my thread is hanging in the same way as at the beginning of this step, that the tail and the working end are hanging from the inside hole of the same super duo. Corinne says, chicken shit colored super duo. Indeed. I like to call a specific color of green chicken shit, but it's actually avocado. And if we want to be realistic, then Corinne might be right. And Christine joined us from Crete. Oh, good to see you. And Wendy says, I am glad to see some uses for mushroom beads. Sadly, I have mushroom colored ones, not a lovely colorway. Wendy, maybe if you want, take a picture and post it later in the club, and maybe some fellow club members have some ideas that how to use that color. Maybe they have already some experience with it. Turquoise looks good with everything. That's my advice, number 1. Nicolene says, once in a while I hear Erika say a sentence. I guess the problem is my connection. I am working on it. I'm sorry, Nicolene. I think that it really might be on your end. What would be great if you could measure your speed of internet and maybe compare it to what you are supposed to receive from the company. There can also be a problem. And at the moment, I'm going around one more time through the inside holes of the super duos, because I want to give this little motif a little bit more stability. I write it in the text in the tutorial that I recommend tying a knot with the working end and with the tail thread. So I'm getting now my working end to the place where I can tie a knot. And ladies, in the meanwhile, I really would like to tell you a story that happened a few weeks ago. Some of you might remember that we were traveling together with Dad and we were celebrating our 20th anniversary. I will tell the story in parts in between doing steps. So I apologize. It will be like divided into pieces. So we were traveling in France, and on one day we joined a little sailing trip to see the beautiful national park next to Marseille. And before continuing, let's see the next step. And in step 3, I'm beading through the outside hole of the SUPERDUO that I am exiting, and then I'm adding 3mm round pearls, round beads, in between the outside holes of the SUPERDUOs. So if you weren't careful with the second holes, then this is the moment of truth. And back to the story, that there was this super nice French girl, and we were, it was a group of like maybe 20 people on the little sailing boat. It was a catamaran, and the national park was beautiful. And there was this French girl whom we befriended. I always love talking to local people, but it was not that easy because not so many people, unfortunately, could speak English, but I was very happy to start talking to this French girl. And she said that her English is actually, the reason why it's so good is because she's living in London, and she actually moved there some 7 years ago to learn English, but then she got a job and stayed there. And a little bit later, she mentioned that she's traveling a lot to Scotland and she loves it. And in a few weeks, she's again going for 3 weeks. And let's stop again. And I will continue with step 4 and then tell about this young lady and Scotland again. In the meanwhile, Ginny joined. Oh, Ginny will have some internet connection problems soon. I hope you can get fixed soon. And Jessica is here. And Betty and Sarah. Hi, ladies. So in step 4, I'm adding groups of MIYUKI DELICA 11s and around 15 in between the 2 MIYUKI DELICA 11s, in between the 3mm round pearls. So always 3 seed beads, DELICA, round 15 DELICA, and then beading through the next round pearl. And back to the lady, the young lady. So at one point I asked her, like, wow, that's awesome that you can go to Scotland for 3 weeks. Like, is it travel for work, or are you like digital nomad working while traveling, or like you can have long vacations? And she said that actually she's traveling with a private family. She's working for a private family, and they spend a lot of time in Scotland. And at that point, Adam started to joke, like, yay, they must be like rich if they have like a family assistant and traveling and taking you with them. So he was joking, and he asked, like, do they maybe know the Queen? And at that point, the young lady, she stopped, and you could see it on her that for 5 seconds she was like thinking what to say. And then she started to smile and she said, like, actually, it's the Queen. I'm working for the Queen and I'm going to Balmoral. So that was like so funny at that moment, and it was really nice to talk to her a little bit. Of course, she couldn't tell like gossips or something we didn't ask, but it was nice to talk a bit about her experience and how much she likes her job and this experience. So actually, I was like 1 acquaintance away from Her Majesty. So I hope that you can hear me and you can see me. In the meanwhile, Ariana says, you inspired me to use yellow delicas too. I'm glad to hear that, Ariana. We were so fixed on turquoise and green and blue and silver during the past weeks. Now it's time to cheer up, I think. And in step 5, I'm actually repeating the thread pass of step 4. And all I'm doing, what's the difference is that I'm skipping the round 15s in between. So I'm beading through DELICA 3mm pearl, DELICA, and then I skip the round 15 and go again through DELICA, pearl, DELICA. It gives you the same result. If in the first circle you just add 2 delicas and then you go around one more time and add this round 15 between the 2 delica beads. In this case, it doesn't matter. It's up to you that what do you prefer. And tell me, ladies, like, since many times we are beading with the same colors, since we are working from the Beading School Academy boxes, but we are in between 2 themes. There were no super duos in the last box, so you had to dig into your stash to put together your color combination. So what kind of colors are you using today and what are you going to make? I was thinking that it would also be a possibility to, for example, join 4 motifs and then add a bigger crystal in the middle. 4 motifs into a square, a Rivoli, for example, a 10mm Rivoli in the middle, and maybe something hanging from the bottom. The structure would be similar to the Adelaide pendant that we were beading during the Swedish bead along a couple of years ago. And Ginny says, I was excited to get out my super duos. I have Aqua. Oh, that's nice, Ginny. I was also super excited when I was thinking, like, what to bead with, what to bead with. We need super duos. And Jennifer is here. Jennifer, I'm sorry that you had trouble. Like, lately Facebook does have trouble with giving with like sorry, brain freeze, reminding you. Thank you for your patience. I was looking for the word reminding. Reminding you when it starts. What you can do is that you navigate to the Facebook page, the Beading School Facebook page, and then you keep refreshing until it starts. I try to be as consistent as possible, so it should be every Friday at the same time. Lita is popping in between meetings. First time here. Oh, it's nice to see you, Lita. She will use her favorite Metallist Crown Blue. Metallists are really nice. Cynthia doesn't know yet. Faye says, I will choose when it's daytime. I don't have mushroom beads, so we'll have to think what to substitute. I'm enjoying watching in the meantime. I'm glad to hear you enjoy this, Faye. And 4mm Suwon rhinestones would make a great substitute. Kata is in golden autumn mood. Golden olive, metallist metallized yellow, frosted bronze, hazelnut, and fire opal. That sounds awesome, Kata. And very much like your favorite colors. Ariana says, a mix of green and purple with topaz rhinestones. Lutka. Ariana wants to make a colorful bracelet. Katie says, not able to bead along with everyone since I'm just watching while working. Shh, don't tell. Your secrets are safe with us. Don't worry, Katie. Yeah, I know the saying. I wanted to be a good girl and use the brain freeze version of that. Marta says, I have the best luck watching the videos through Beading School by Erika, not the club link. Hope this helps. Thank you for sharing your experience. Or it says, I was looking for the broadcast and couldn't find it for 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. I was totally on time, starting at 5 p.m. like precisely. I got coffee last minute from Adam. That makes me very efficient and punctual. Yosin is using a magatama, and in fact, ladies, for the same structure can be achieved also with gem duos, for example, or different kinds of two-hole beads. You can experiment. As Cynthia says, a small pearl or rhinestone might work. Irina is using dark purple and olive and 4mm Suvan crystal AB. That sounds really good, Irina. Yosin, lemon Senegal, and blue. And Patty says, this is so cute. I love all of your color combinations. Same here, Patty. And sometimes it's like, I'm trying to imagine already, and I can't wait to like really see the pictures. It's super inspiring, like so many color combinations, and sometimes even the shapes, what we end up with are so varied. Like last week, ladies, with Volvega, that was awesome. So many of you added to the Volvega motif in such creative ways. Like, I couldn't go away from the computer. I was all the time like refreshing and is there a new one? Is there a new one? Look, they looked awesome. And now I'm building the connection. As I told you, I will bead everything in one go. I don't like starting new threads. So now, after exiting around 15, I picked up my connection bead, a 3mm fire polished bead, and the round 15 on the other side. And I bead back through the 3mm fire polished, and then I bead through the round 15 or in the original motif, in the first motif, one more time. And I want to change my thread direction to match the one on the picture. So I will repeat the thread pass through the fire polished one. And then I bead up through round 15, DELICA 3mm pearl, DELICA, and round 15. So my goal is to finish in the round 15 that is above the one that I attached the fire polished bead to. And then I add one more connection bead, the fire polished one, together with the round 15 holding it. The difference here is that I bead it back through the fire polished one and I bead through the round 15 one more time, but then I want to end up in the round 15 holding the fire polished bead, and my thread is hanging towards the first fire polished bead. So this is how it looks like at the moment. And Marianne says in the meanwhile, SUPERDUOs in jade dark travertine, mushrooms in beige Picasso fire polished, pearl shell round beads, raspberry delicas, and silver seed beads. And that sounds really good, Marianne. What are you making? What kind of jewel? And then we have a Facebook user friend. She says, a gold variety of beads and use the 3mm pearl in the middle. Indeed, that should fit nicely as the center point. And Patty says, I get so much joy seeing all of the ideas. The ladies here are so talented and inspirational. And that's so beautifully said, Patty. Thank you so much. And Marianne is making a bracelet. And let's see step 7. In step 7, I pick up a DELICA. I pick up a 3mm round pearl. And then a little tricky part is starting. I will add 2 SUPERDUOs in a special way. So I pick up one of the SUPERDUOs, hold it like this to so I can orientate myself better with the horse and everything. And I bead back through the second hole of the SUPERDUO. I pick up a second SUPERDUO bead, and again I turn back right away through its second hole, and I also bead through the 3mm pearl and the first hole of the first SUPERDUO one more time. So when I pull my thread, this is how it should look like. There is a little V shape formed from the SUPERDUOs. In between, the 3mm round pearl is sitting, and then there is a DELICA joining the 3mm round pearl and the size 15 seed bead. And to finish off this step, I bead through the holes on the right side of the SUPERDUOs, both of them. This will become the inside holes, by the way. And in step 8, I complete my circle. So I have already 2 SUPERDUOs, and I need 6 more to complete my circle. So I have now 8 SUPERDUOs, and just as at the beginning, I bead through all of them one more time to join them into a circle. If you have super good thread tension, then you might not have to bead all around for a second time, but for my tension, I find it necessary. I compared both ways, and my little circle of SUPERDUOs was nicer when I repeated the thread pass. And then I bead through the inside holes of those 2 from this step, and from the beginning of this step, one more time. So this is how it looks like. Is this part clear, ladies? Let me know, please. If yes, then actually we are adding now the center point of the second motif, exactly the same way as before. So in my case, it's a little mushroom bead. I picked up my mushroom, and then I bead through the inside hole of the SUPERDUO that is exactly opposite of the SUPERDUO that I was exiting before picking up the mushroom. I bead back through the mushroom, and then I bead one more time through the SUPERDUO inside hole that I was exiting before picking up the mushroom. This is how it looks like, and I think you can see that now we are repeating the center of the motif. Gunnar likes the thread pass very much. She says it's a very clever thread pass for beginning the new motif. I'm glad you like it, Gunnar. Okay, Ariana, Faye, and Ginny also says that it's clear. So let's move forward. Now, again, just like in the first motif, I'm turning to the opposite direction by beading through the outside hole of the same SUPERDUO that I was just exiting. And then I don't need here a round pearl, a 3mm round pearl. I already have one that I have added earlier. So I bead through that 3mm round pearl and the next SUPERDUO, and I fill in the rest. So that means that I will fill in 7 new 3mm round pearls, and together with the one that I have added already, it makes it 8, just as before. So the previous week, when we were beading Volvega, I told you that every motif has like usually a magic number. That's the number of repetitions, number of groups of beads that you need to pick up, number of big beads that you might need to add. It depends on the actual motif. It's always a good thing to remember, because that's how often you can control yourself if you have added the necessary number of repetitions. So last week with Volvega, the magic number was 6, and now the magic number is 8. And I'm adding my last 2 3mm round pearls in between the outside holes of the SUPERDUOs. By the way, you can make a beautiful, colorful bracelet out of this one. You can use different colors of SUPERDUOs. You can use different colors of the 3mm round pearls that go in between. Or maybe it will be the center point that you would like to vary, that everything else will be the same, but you use, for example, a different color of rhinestone in the middle for everything. So you will really have lots of possibilities. You can do a rainbow by beading, for example, some neutral background from the SUPERDUOs, and then you can go like the purple, blue, green, and so on with the colors of the rainbow. Or you can make a gradient from like a darker towards a lighter shade in the same color, from dark purple towards light purple, for example. So there are lots of possibilities. And I bead it all around, added the 3mm pearls, and then I finished by beading through that very first one that was added in this motif. And the rest is super easy. So I'm adding the groups of seed beads all around, but here I still have a fire polished bead and a size 15 round bead hanging in the air. So now I will connect it to my second motif. I picked up a DELICA, and now I bead through that MIYUKI that is holding the fire polished. And then I pick up another MIYUKI and bead through the next 3mm round pearl. And to show you the second option that you have, with adding the seed beads on the edge. Now, instead of picking up the DELICA round 15 DELICA combination and then skipping the round 15 in between, I'm doing the other possibility that you can do. You can try both of them, and maybe one is faster for you or just feels better for you. So now, instead of adding the 3 beads at once and then skipping the middle one, I'm adding the 2 delicas, and then I will add in my repetition the round 15 in the middle. And ladies, I am slowly finishing this component, so please let me know, or 52 of you who are watching at the moment, please let me know, how did you like it? If you have any questions, if there is any way that I might help you. Eleanor, actually, if back to your question, if there will be more boxes, please make sure to add yourself to the wish list to get a notification when a box would be available. That's the best that you can do. So Cynthia says, this is a beautiful component. It is very clear. I'm glad to hear that, Cynthia. It goes super fast, right? Or it says, such happy colors. Love it. Lita also can't wait to make it. Marta finds it cute. Annie doesn't have questions. Oh, thank you, ladies. Kristen is asking how many boxes are actually made. So today I asked the treasury ladies that how many could they make. So it was, if I remember well, around 350. So that's the number of boxes that we are making at the moment. And it is actually a very intense organizing work to make that. For that week, we always have extra pairs of hands in the treasury to make sure that everything is going nice and smooth. And next week, I'm actually traveling to Slovakia. Already on Sunday, I am traveling to Slovakia. And I will be there next week with the treasury ladies while they are sending out the precious boxes. On Tuesday, make sure to tune in to watch Coffee Time with Erika, because I will be opening the new box and it's going to be a really good one. It's full of happy colors and nice shapes. So I can't wait to show it to you. Also, I can't wait to tell you about the new source of inspiration. And since I will be traveling, then next week on Friday, unfortunately, there won't be a live No One Has to Bead Alone. There might be a tutorial at least coming to keep you occupied. Or if I don't manage, then we can look back at designs that we were beading lately, or have time for one of the tutorials that you haven't had time for recently. Ariana is excited. Martina says all the boxes are really good ones. Thank you so much, Martina. Like, the boxes, like, really lots of love, and all my knowledge and experience goes into selecting the components that go into the boxes. I always spend actually several days researching, making sure that I can fit in as many beads and as many components and cabochons into your boxes as possible, to make sure that everything goes well with each other, to make sure that there can be super nice jewels made for them. So I'm really, really happy that you are happy with the result. And Sandra has a tricky question. What do you consider happy colors? And this is a question that I refuse to answer at the moment. I'm really sorry, Sandra. I love answering all your questions. At this moment, I will not answer your question. Let's see each other on Tuesday to answer that. And thank you, Wendy. Cheryl, I don't. Sorry. No hints at the moment. Kristen has a complicated question. How many different countries are represented by all the people that buy the boxes? I can't answer it at the moment. Actually, every time in December, I ask Adam to make a database export for me to see that how many countries, bidders in how many countries could we serve at Beadingschool. And oh my God, I don't want to say anything stupid. So it's always like, luckily a growing number, but can you please ask your question in the club and then I will return to it on Monday? It is, and it actually gives me an idea for like an article, maybe like fun facts from Beadingschool. What do you think? That can be your homework, ladies. Like, ask us any kind of questions about like fun facts. I don't know, how many coffees do we drink as a team, for example, or whatever comes to your mind. Fun facts about Beadingschool. So do your best. I will post something in the club and then you can ask your questions at that one place, and then I will do my best to compile an article with fun facts about Beadingschool. And Sandra will go around shouting, my beadbox is coming, my beadbox is coming. In that case, we need a video in the club, of course, to share happiness. Oh, sorry, echo. Yes, 2 cameras. I'm sorry about that. Oh, Corinna, if your mojo is gone at the moment, don't push yourself. Don't push yourself. Take a deep breath. Maybe try for a day something new. When I had a feeling that I'm a little bit tired, then I actually signed up for a 1-day silversmithing class, and I was like hammering and sewing and setting stones, and that was a really nice experience. And Kristen, she says, I can't seem to find how to view the mini challenge submissions. They are on our Facebook page, Kristen. On the main Beadingschool Facebook page. And sorry about the echoes again, ladies. I forgot. So, if you don't have any more questions, well, I hope that you are thinking about your funny questions that I can answer in an article with some fun facts. So, in that case, I will now say goodbye. I would like to thank you for your time here, for spending time together. And I can't wait to see your motifs. This is again, by the way, a little motif that can be easily grown and made into something else. So if you have some ideas, then make it happen. I would love to see it. Ariana liked the quiz in the Beading School Academy. I'm happy. I'm happy, Ariana. And Kristen, yes, I will post a post so you can ask your fun questions. See you everyone on Tuesday, and wishing you lots of creative moments during the weekend. Bye bye.